Hey guys, Novel Bullshit and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be doing another tier list, this time on Elementalist. So let's get into the video. So Ellie is another class I've played a lot. It's actually my first character was an Ellie. Big fan of Elementalist. Bought fractions and yeah. So I'm glad to be doing Ellie today. Now we're starting off with Blinding Surge. Now this one, Blinding Surge deals 5 to 50 lightning damage, inflicts blind condition, 3 to 8 seconds on target and adjacent foes. 25% armor penetration. If that foe was attacking, also hit adjacent foe and deals 50 more damage, 50% more damage. Now this is pretty good actually. Wow, they actually buffed this. I remember it didn't used to do this. Now interestingly enough, 25% armor pen is quite a bit. Armor pen adds up to quite a lot of damage. I'm actually not sure how much. I think I read somewhere 20% equals about 40%. But yeah, 25% equals about 41% more damage typically on an armor rating class of like 80, which is quite a lot of damage. So, and this one does 50% more damage when hitting AoE on attacking foes. So PvP wise, I think this is like S tier. PvE wise and all that, it's kind of hard. I'd probably put this in like, wait a minute, why is B here? Weird. I think this kind of sits as, I don't know. A lot of Ellie ones might be situational, but in this one, I think it's like an A. I think it's a strong skill. PvE, not really. Okay, I don't know actually. If it was PvE, PvP, like I said, S. If it was PvE, I'd say B. So I'm gonna round it out into high, maybe A for now, low A, and then we'll see how we go along. We got Double Dragon down in Fire Magic. Double Dragon is one of the first elites you can get in fractions. It's an elite enchants you and an ally, target ally. Adjacent foes take 5 to 35 damage. Skills that target a foe also inflict burn. So you can do burn to foes and you can also do some damage as well. So it lasts for 8 seconds, 8 times 30. That's about 260 damage or so, 240 damage. Burn on top, I mean, it's hard to calculate how much that does. Now, one thing I forgot to talk about for Blinding Surge was the stats. If you just go back, Blinding Surge is 10 energy, 3.5 second cast time, and 6 second recharge. And for Double Dragon, 10 energy, 1 cast time, and 20 recharge. Now, it got buffed. This didn't used to do this before. It didn't used to target an ally. It used to be a different type of skill. I'm actually not sure what to sit this right now. I might sit this in C, just because it's a bit inconsistent. You need to run in as an Ellie, and Ellies typically don't want to be up front unless you run in like an AoE Ellie. But then in those situations, there are better skills for that. So maybe I'll keep it in C for now, and then we can see as we go along. Wow, we got a big one already. Energy storage. We got Elemental Attunement, big skill. It's a key, probably the core Ellie skill. It's an enchantment, 25 to 60 seconds. Your elemental attributes increase by 1 to 2, and it's just 1 to 2 all the way across the board up to 21. You gain 50% of your energy back for all, elemental, air, earth, fire, and water. 10 energy, 1 cast time, 20 cooldown. This is definitely an S tier. I mean, when it comes to energy, just dealing with energy, this will help you more than anything. Like, there's no reason why not to bring this. It's an amazing skill. Yeah, it doesn't do anything like special, but it's just good. It's just really strong. It's very, very useful. Okay, next, a skill that I've never personally used. It's an energy once again. Energy Boon. No, I've used this once actually. Maximum health for you and your target ally is increased 1 to 3 for each point of energy, max energy. So what it means is basically if you got 100 energy, your health will increase by 300. Wait, what? Yeah, by 300. It could be 3 times 1 each point, so 3 times 100. Okay, and then both gain 1 to 12 energy. Initial effect, you gain 1 energy plus 2 points of energy storage. Okay, so it's just like you get a lot of energy basically. So say like if you got 20 energy storage, you'll get 16 energy. If you just got 12, you just get 12 energy back. It's 10 energy, 1 activation, and 20 cost cooldown. Okay. I don't know. I guess, yeah, giving someone more health, giving them some energy as well, and giving yourself some energy, it's alright. I'll probably put this in C though. I don't think it's a powerful spell. Maximum health doesn't really mean too much in this game, honestly. Since there's so many ways to heal anyway. The energy is nice, but as an elite, just giving like 12 energy every 20 seconds. I don't know. I don't think it's it. I don't think it's it. Okay, another one in energy storage. We've got Ether Prism. All damage you take is reduced by 75%. End effect, gain 5 to 20 energy. Lasts for 3 seconds. 5 mana energy. Sorry. 25-second cooldown. I actually think this one's pretty bad because it only lasts 3 seconds. Yes, it reduces all damage, not including Condi. But then after that, you get energy back, but the cooldown is way too long for this to be useful in anything. Like, what would you use it for? Like, farming maybe, but 3 seconds in a farming run is not good enough. It's not long enough for it to be useful in anything. So no, I don't think it's good. Damn, we're going through a lot of the energy ones. There's a lot of E's for these skills. Okay, E for Prodigy. It's an elemental. It's an enchantment. You have +6 energy. End effect. Lose 2 health for each point of energy you have. Lose all enchantments. Wow. Okay. It has 10 overcasts, 5 energy, 1 cast time, and 5 recharge. So if you keep this up forever, it will never end. And since it never ends, you will because reapplying this will also end it. The trigger of life will always happen because it automatically ends as you recast it. That's very clever of them. I like that. The energy +6, I mean, it's good, but like, I suppose it's like for an Ellie who's, maybe playing on another class, using another class for healing, and this is just for them to get energy back. Because I'm looking, if you're using elemental skills, then you might as well just use elemental attunement, right? It boosts yourself up and it's just 50% less. There's no downside to it either, and it lasts for a long time. While this one, it gives you +6, which is great, but then you lose the health as well after, depending on your energy, and you also lose all enchantments. Like, I don't know. I'm putting this in D. It might be even an F, but I'll put it in D for now. This next skill is pretty interesting. I actually like this one. E for Renewal. Each time you cast a spell, lasts 5 to 20 seconds is enchantment. Each time you cast a spell, you gain 1 to 4 energy. At 18, you get 5, breaking the cycle. And also you get 5 to 20 health for each enchantment on you. So if you have a lot of enchantments, there are some builds where people maintain enchantments and then they use spells, and they just keep getting energy back because of this spell. It just helps them to get energy and energy. So it's very situational. Definitely putting situational, but I'll say this is more like a situational B or situational A, because in a situation you need it. It's very powerful, but in general you wouldn't really bring it, honestly. Going back to air, Glimmering Mark. This is a spell I actually used to use in PvP. Now they actually buffed it, which I do like. Okay, it's an elite hex. One of the only elite hexes. Actually, no, they have a couple on water. It was 5 to 25 damage each second to target and adjacent foes, and fits blind on foes using attack skills. End if you use a skill against that targets this foe. So every time they use an attack skill, it will just blind them. It lasts for 10 seconds, so it can, it doesn't say how long the blind lasts for actually. Okay, it's 3 seconds of blind. It's a static 3 seconds of blind. 10 energy, 1 cast time, 15 recharge. So you can use this quite a lot. Every 5 seconds is off, you can use it. Yeah, it does. I mean, what, 25 times 10, 250 damage and AoE. Best case scenario, you know, you're hitting 250 damage and you're just doing that to like what, 8 people, 4 people maybe. That's a lot of damage going out. If they melee, you're blinding them, which also adds to support and just helping out the team. Now, end effect, when you target this foe, there's some spells that don't target that you can use, like AoE spells around you, and also you can target an adjacent foe and still hit this foe, and it does damage. Also, this is armor ignoring. This doesn't, like no armor they have will stop this damage. This damage is coming regardless of what they do. So in that case, I'm actually putting this up to B. I think it's quite a strong spell. It could even be A. Elemental skills, they have a lot of good elites. I like their elites. I'll put this in B though. Now we go on to pick up some glyphs. Which one's this glyph? Glyph of Energy. Okay, I've never used this, but I recently started to read it, and I thought it's actually pretty interesting. Mostly just for one part. Your next 1 to 3 spells, 4 if you get up to 19, do not cause overcast and cost 10 to 25 less energy. Gained 1 to 2 attributes to all attributes. Okay, 5 energy, 1 cast time, and 25 recharge. Now apparently once you cast this, it stays on you forever, so it doesn't run out. So you can cast it, you know, use the 3 spells and then cast it again. The only thing is, yeah, it's big energy, but there's not many skills that have like 25 energy. So when you put a lot into this, you don't really get much out. Like at most, you might as well stop at 12 energy storage, because getting to 15 doesn't really do much for you, really, because it only affects 3 spells anyway. So it's a good way to stay saving energy, and you do get some elemental attributes, which is cool. Best case scenario, you cast it before, cast it again. That's 6 spells that basically take no energy, and you have full elemental attributes. So 6 spells in a fight is normally the fight done. So this should actually keep you fully stocked with energy for the whole fight. In that case, I'm actually putting this up to A. It's actually pretty good in that case. You can pretty much do a whole fight of 6 spells, 6 big spells. Ideally, the fight should be over. And by the time you're on your next fight, this should be almost recharged and you can go again. So maybe it's high B actually. Maybe it's high B because, you know, it does require you to slow down a bit if you really want to maximize this. And just because of the lost energy, like there's not many spells that are like 25 energy. Like, quite a lot. Actually quite a lot. Okay, now this one's a non-attributed one. Glyph of Renewal. Your next spell recharges instantly. Now it costs 5 mana. It is 1 cast time and 10-second cooldown. Now your next spell casting instantly is actually pretty good with really long spells. Such as, what's it called, Meteor Storm or something like that. To, you know, that takes like what, 6 seconds or something to cast. I can't remember. 3 seconds. I actually really can't remember. And allowing you to cast it instantly is pretty cool. It's only 1 spell. You can only use this every 10 seconds, so it's definitely helpful. But how impactful for an elite, I don't know. Maybe if it made the next spell also stronger, that would also be cool. So right now I think it just sits in C. I'll just leave it where it is. Gust, going back to air. Gust is definitely more of a PvP skill, I'd say, but I wouldn't see people use it too much in PvP actually. It's an enchantment, 5 to 11 seconds. You can target ally, move 33% faster, which is pretty cool. Initial effect, foes near your target ally are struck for 15 to 70 cold damage. Attacking or moving foes are not down. 10 energy, 3/4 cast time, and 10-second cooldown. So this is pretty cool when you're trying to, you know, protect your teammates. Maybe they're getting bombed, they're getting attacked by a lot of people. You can help them, like if monks are getting attacked by a lot of warriors and stuff. So in PvP, that could be useful. Also in PvE, you know, there's a lot of people attacking you guys. You just got a lot of AoE going on between 2 people, and just knocking something down is just useful, right? And it giving movement speed as well to help your monk or whatever get away. You and your monk. You can use it every time that the enchantment lasts for the whole duration of the cast time, the cooldown. So yeah, it's pretty good. I put in a low B. Not a bad skill. This is our first water skill. It is Icy Shackles. Interesting. It's an elite hex, 1 to 10 seconds. Target foe moves 66% slower. This foe moves 90% slower if enchanted. Now it's 10 energy, 1 cast time, and 12 cooldown. This one does no damage, but making someone move 66 is a lot. 90 is crazy for 90 for 10 seconds. In PvP, that pretty much means, you know, but this monk is gonna die. They can't move. It needs to be removed. Otherwise, they're just a sitting duck. In PvE, it doesn't mean much. To be honest, it doesn't mean much at all. Honestly, I would have in PvE. I think they should have just had a PvE version, which didn't damage, or it slowed multiple people down, because this on a single person is not strong enough. I think it's very situational. In PvP, I'd say, yeah, this could be like maybe a B. In PvE, I just don't see this being used. In PvE, I put this like an F. It's just not usable. Why would you care about one target foe moving 66% slower or 90% slower? Also, you have to hope that they have an enchantment on them. I don't know, unless you're really looking for a certain boss, like maybe you're fighting like a certain boss end game that's you're really struggling with, you need to exit. Maybe, but I can't think of many bosses like that in the game. Ooh, Invoke Lightning. Pretty cool spell. I like this one. Deals 10 to 90 lightning damage. Hits 2 foes near target. 25% armor penetration. 5 overcast, 10 energy, 1 cast time, and 5 cooldown. 6 cooldown. That's actually really low for cooldown. Now hitting 3 people, 90 damage, 25% armor penetration, which is 41% more damage. So we're thinking about 130 damage. That is quite a lot of damage for 3 people on a low cooldown. Energy cost isn't too high for an Ellie. I think it's a good skill. PvE is the best you're going to get for lightning AoE. PvP, I remember this was a big spell in PvP because it was just armor piercing. It's just hitting a lot of people, 3 people. It just adds a lot of pressure on the monk when people are you know, together. In PvP, I'll put this up to like maybe like an you know, an AS, high A, probably high A. So I'm gonna put this in like an high B. I think it's a really good spell. Another lightning one. We've gone through a lot of lightnings and energy. It's just the namings, right? Okay, this one is quite a basic one in PvE for like NPCs. I see them use it a lot. Lightning Surge. It's an elite hex. End effect. Deals 14 to 100 lightning damage, causes knockdown, and inflicts cracked armor for 20 seconds. 25% armor penetration. Now, the cracked armor is applied after the damage is done. That means it doesn't take effect of the cracked armor. If it was before, this should improve the damage tremendously. Because cracked armor does what? I think cracked armor does what, like 20? Is it 25% armor piercing? No, it removes armor by 20. So you're doing armor piercing, then removing armor, like you would just do so much damage. Honestly, it would be pretty insane. To be honest, so it's a shame that they didn't allow that to happen. It's a 10 energy, 1 cast time, 10-second cooldown. So it's not very spammable. It's an elite that only hits 1 person, which really kind of leaves it down in, I think, in like D, maybe high D. If this was AoE, you hit everyone around this target, which I think it should be, at least for PvE, this would be probably, okay, let's say if it would probably be higher A, maybe S tier, because AoE knockdown, doing like 130 damage to everyone, and also if the cracked armor was before, that would be insane. It'll be like 160 damage to everyone, knocking them down. That would be really good, but that's not the case. Okay, this one is controversial for me, Master of Magic, because when I was a kid, when I saw this spell, I thought this was great. I thought this is one of the greatest spells ever for Elementalist, but you know, time has gone past and I see it has a lot of limitations. Enchantment spell lasts 1 to 61 seconds, so you know, if you don't commit into it, it doesn't last forever, any time, amounts of time, and I like that. I like it, makes it feel like you need to invest for it to actually be useful. And an Elementalist is always gonna invest for this. Your elemental attributes are set to 8 to 14, and elemental spells return 30% of their energy costs. Okay, so it's quite similar to elemental attunement. There's a big problem with this spell. It locks you at 14. Max you can get is 16 at 20. Alright, so pretty much the idea is you put all your points into energy storage, and then you just, you know, use that to ride it out, and then that is your main way of you know, getting this to higher level. But it locks it at 16, so any other way to improve someone's stats, it will just lock at 16 and it won't improve. It will just stay the same, which is a big negative. So it's actually a massive negative in that sense, because let's say the new elite for paragons that increase you by 4, these guys are now stuck at 16. They cannot get to 20 like ever. Now what this is normally supposed to be used for is you being able to use magics from everything, water, fire, blah blah blah, using a bit of everything. But at that point, it's like, why don't you just do elemental attunement, which gives +2, you know? You put 11 points into energy, you put 10 and 10 into fire and water, you get +2 for each. Yeah, you're on like, what, 13? Why not? Like, that's good enough, right? 13 and 12. Compared to this, where, yeah, you're on 13 if you have, what, is it 15 points? No, it's 12 points. You're on 13 for 12 points, or 14 points. And then, yeah, everything's set to 14. Like, it's very near. But and then you always get 50% rather than 30% for the other one. And you're not locked in, so other classes can help you up in other ways. So, like, this is only useful if I did the maths, kind of. I didn't do, like, perfect maths, but I did headcanon maths. This is more useful than elemental attunement if you're using 3 different spell groups. If you're using only 2, I personally use elemental attunement. But if you're using 3 or 4 spells from all different ones, then yeah, this is better. And that's why I guess it's situational, but it's situationally bad. I still think this is like a C. A situational C. It's like, I wouldn't, there's not many situations I'd use this. Now the only situation I would use it is if yeah, I'm using like fire, water, earth and air all in one build. But in that case, like, why would you do that? There's not many builds where you'd want to do that. They're very niche and very gimmicky builds, just to have fun, really. So, yeah, it's a good skill to have fun with. That's fair enough. Mind Blast. Okay, it says, this is a spell. Deals 15 to 65 damage. You gain 1 to 8 energy if you have more energy than your foe. 5-second energy, 1 cooldown, and 2-second recharge. Now, this is quite spammable. But I don't actually think this is good at all. I think this is like maybe a D, maybe even an F. Low D. I'll put in low D. No, because like you need to have more energy than your opponent, and some bosses have a lot of energy, some enemies have energy. So you need to think of that, and even then, the damage you do is so small. Like, what this is pretty much you getting your energy source, but the energy just is so low. Why don't you just use elemental attunement? Why don't you just use Master of Magic then, which actually gives you energy and it gives you attributes and it allows you to just, you know, you can just not care. You don't have to use this low hitting spell. Like if I was them, I'm putting this in F actually. If I was them, I would have increased the damage by quite a bit, or made it burn as well, or do something more, because I don't think it's enough. Or maybe the cast time, rather than a second, I think it should be half a second. And maybe the recharge is 1 second, so it's more spammable. Like I just don't think it's good enough. Like if they did that, even then I would put only like B, but right now it's definitely in F. I don't think it's good at all, honestly. PvP or PvE. Mind Burn. Oh, okay. This is an interesting one. I've never really used this, but I do like how it works. It was 15 to 65 damage. If you have more energy than target foe, there was 15 to 60 more fire damage, and if it's burning to, and also hits adjacent foes. That's crazy. 5 overcast, 5 energy, 1 cast time, 5-second cooldown. That's some big damage. At 15, you're hitting 120 damage, and then you're burning for 10 seconds, and this is AoE. Are you dumb? That is strong. I might need to throw this on one of my monks. I mean, Elementalist, that is freaking strong. That's 120 damage, 10 seconds of burn, 10 seconds is 7 pits. 7 pips times 2, that's 14 damage, 140 damage from burn. Overall, that is 200. I forgot the math I was saying in my mind. What did I say? 140? Wait. 7 times 10, 70. And then times like 240. Yeah, 140. Yeah, 160 damage basically on one person. This is AoE, and you can spam this. The overcast makes it hard to spam, but damn, this is strong. This is the longest burn a skill can give in the game, basically. Yeah, I'm putting this at A. Like, this is definitely A. It could be even S. Like, this is crazy, and that's a crazy spell. Mind Freeze, the water version of this. It's an elite hex. Deals 10 to 16 cold damage. So it's pretty much the same damage as, yeah, it's the same damage as the fire. If you have more energy, then the target foe deals 10 to 16 more cold damage and causes slow to 90% slow for 1 to 5 damage. Now this one is definitely just one single target. I definitely say this is more situational. Now in PvP, it's been nerfed. Let me never see quickly where it's been nerfed to. It's removed. They've reduced the damage by like maybe like 30%. Also, the stats for this: 5 overcast, 5 energy, 1 cast time, and 10 cooldown. Now they made the energy 10 in PvP, 5 in PvE. Very situational, I would say. In PvP, I would say maybe this is like a B. In PvE, damn. In PvE, I would say it's about maybe a C, because of the situation of the slowdown. Like it's not AoE, and it's elite, not AoE, and the damage, what, 120 and some slow. Like slow is good, but in PvE it's not that good on one person. Slow is good when you hit multiple people. Alright, Mind Shock deals 10 to 50 lightning damage. If you have more energy than target foe, deals 10 to 50 more lightning damage and causes knockdown. 25% armor pen. Okay, so at 15 you're doing 100 damage, so it's less damage than the others, but the armor pen, you know, comes in 40% more, so at 140 damage, something like that. Nah, that's a lie. It's like 130 damage, 120 damage, 35 damage probably, which is pretty good. There's a PvP version as well, because in PvP this is pretty busted. Okay, so this is 5 overcast, 5 energy, 1 cooldown, and 8 second 1 cast time, 8 second cooldown. In PvP, it's 10 casts overcast. Now in PvP, this is pretty much what, like an A skill. In PvP, I don't even see this as situational. I think this is just like a straight D. I mean, it's similar to this one here, the Lightning Surge, but I mean it does less damage, right? Lightning Surge, I think, did more damage. Yeah, Lightning Surge does more damage. Well, it was just 100, and it does cracked armor as well. So it's just like a better spell. It doesn't give you overcast. Now overcast isn't necessarily bad, but it makes it less spammable. This is only 2 seconds faster cast time. I guess Lightning Surge does take 10 energy, so it's about the same. I'd say it's very similar. Yeah, these are very similar. They're interchangeable basically in PvE. Okay, this spell is an interesting one. I used to use this at one point, but they changed it, I believe. Mirror of Ice. It's an elite hex, deals 15 to 70 cold damage and slows target foes by 66. Hit foes near you and a target ally. Recharge is 50% faster if it hits a foe hexed with water. Okay, so it's one of those, you know, target my ally, target a foe. 10 energy, 3/4 cast time, and 15 recharge. Now this is pretty interesting because recharge is halved if you hit so many water hex, so it goes from 15 to 7. 66% slow, 6 seconds isn't the longest, but it's good AoE, and it's on 2 people, so you got a lot of AoE going on. It helps people bunch up, and yeah, you do a decent amount of cold damage. So to be honest, I think this is actually pretty good. I think this might be a low B. Like, I can definitely see applications in PvE using this. In PvP, not so much, but definitely in some gimmicky type of deck builds, you could probably run up to someone and slow enemy team. Just like 2 of you running around separately and just slowing down the enemy team. I could see it happening. Oh, very interesting spell. Mist Form. There's the PvP version as well. 10 to 45 seconds. Take 33% less damage from foes hexed with water and magic. Heals non-spirit allies in earshot 50 to 250% of energy costs of your elemental spells. Very, very interesting. Now, at 15 it's 250%. If you go all the way up to 20, it's 317%. Now, how it works out is at 15, if you use a spell that has 5 energy, you heal 12. At 10, 25. At 15, 37. And at 25, you heal 62. So this is just a nice way to kind of, you know, deal damage and also help your allies at the same time and keep yourself from taking damage, I suppose. It's 5 energy, 1 cast time, 20-second cooldown. Now, it's a pretty interesting spell. I think it's very, very situational. There's not many situations you actually want to take this, but it's like a situational C or B. I know there's one build back in the day, Mistform, where I think since they changed it's a bit different, where monks used to have an elementalist monk who would spam the monk spell that heals all allies and or something like that, and this would all, because it costs a lot of energy, it will just be like double healing to everyone. Now this is in earshot though, so they do need to be with you, so I'll put this like a situational C or high C, maybe mid C, because yeah, you don't want to take this in most situations, but it's pretty good. Ellie seems to have a lot of situational spells, and that's because Ellie spells are very catered to, depending on what you're doing, depends on what you want to use, right? Obsidian Flesh is an enchantment, 8 to 20 seconds. You have plus 20 armor, and enemy foes spells cannot target you. You cannot attack and have -2 energy regen. Wow, okay. 25 energy to cast, 1 cast time, 30-second cooldown. So if this is ripped from you, it's pretty much a gone. And there's -2 pips, which is actually quite a lot, to be honest. Now the only thing you can do with this is you find against a lot of people using magic spells. You can still use the spells that don't target, like the AoE ones around you and stuff like that. So this kind of falls into situational again, but yeah, but even then I don't think there's many situations you want to use this. I think it's just kind of bad. Like, I think it's F bad, because I don't know, like, when would you want the armor and to not be targeted, like, and then also lose the energy? Maybe you could use it for farming, but at that point, yeah, I guess yeah, it's for farming. But if it's not for it's not a good farming method. But if it is for farming, I would still say it's probably like, you know, an F. If it's not farming, an F. If it is for farming, I'd say it's like a C. It's not very good in my opinion. Okay, this is the new spell that the Elementalist got, Over the Limit. Quite controversial, because people say it's not that good. Enchantment spells cast 15 to 20% faster and recharge 15 to 50% faster. Continuously gain overcharge while active. A -1 pips, 5 energy, 1 activation time, and 20 cooldown. Now at 15, you get 20% speed and 50% faster recharge. So you can actually, you know, a lot of the spells, if this spell costs is like 10 seconds, then it'll be 5 seconds. If it's 2 seconds, it'll be 1 second. So this is pretty nice, but the way it's kind of built, it's like you turn it off and then turn it on, right? You don't want it to be on the forever, because you are constantly overcast. I think this spell is actually pretty damn bad, because when you take it off, it's just 20 seconds to come back on. So it's not like you can take it off and take it on. If you take it off, it's off for the whole battle. Like, it's just off. And the risk is not worth the reward, because you're just continuously gaining. And how often does it gain? Let's see the wiki says. 1 point per second, basically. So every second you have this on, you're getting 1 overcast. That's crazy. So that's an F. I say that's all the way down here. Now, if this was, what I'd recommend for this is that they reduce the recharge time from 20 to like maybe 5. So it's more like, yeah, you take it off for 5 seconds, then you can put it back on. So you can really play around with it a bit and change the activation time from 1 second to like maybe like a quarter second or half second. You can really just turn it off and off, and maybe just turn it off in general, so it's not even, it doesn't exist. Because, you know, when you turn it off and turn it on, you're still taking energy. It's still taking energy from you. And maybe instead of, you know, you just, yeah, like, I think that would work much better, because then you're using energy a lot. Yeah, I definitely think that would work better. But, and if it was like that, I think then we'll move up to A. In the case it is, it's all the way down there. Ride the Lightning. Nice skill. I like this skill. I like this spell, obviously. deals 10 to 70 lightning damage, 25% armor penetration, blinds all adjacent foes 1 to 5 seconds. You instantly move to target. May target allies. Now, how does it may target allies? I've always wondered about that actually. This skill and PvP version is the only shadow step skill that is able to move the user to target regardless of where. Now, how does it hit the allies? The blindness is applied to foes and adjacent to the target rather than to the user's initial location. Okay. In the notes, it doesn't say anything about hitting allies. So, oh, okay, I see. This may target allies, not in that it will hurt your allies. It's that you can move to your allies or you can move to a foe. It's up to you what you want to move to. And if it's a foe, you do damage. Okay, cool. I'd misread this all these years. Wow. Wow, I'm shocked. 5 overcast, 10 energy, 1 cast time, 5 cooldown. Now, PvE wise, this has a PvP version, which I'm just going to look at for a second. A 15 energy and a 10-second cast time rather than 5. No cooldown rather than 5. Now this, I would say, is like a C, or B, low B, but maybe a C, because the reason that it's a C is because a 1 second activation time is a bit long, for this type of spell. Maybe not long, but you know, shadow steps are normally instant. Or wait, let's actually compare this to other shadow steps quickly. Yeah, a lot of shadow steps are like, yeah, a quarter. You know, some of them are half. Like this one that knocks down, so half. But most of them are like a quarter, right? And this one, because it's an elite, and the fact that an elite is this much, it makes it kind of limits its uses for me. So it's good for like builds where you want to be close and do AoE after, but because of that, if it was like a quarter or half second cast time, it would be like maybe a B or an A, but right now it's sitting in a C. Finally, more earth. Sandstorm. I like this spell. Deals 10 to 30 earth damage per second for 10 seconds. Hits foes near target foes initial location. Hits attacking foes for 10 to 30 more earth damage each second. This is one of the biggest damaging spells that NLE has. It's 30 different packets of damage. So if you're doing 30, that's 60, 10 seconds, that's 600 damage. 600 damage to they stand in all of this. AoE. Now this isn't just adjacent, this is near. So it's even bigger than adjacent. 15 energy though, 2-second activation, which is fair enough for one of these spells, and 25-second cooldown. I would say in PvE, this is like an A tier spell. This is so strong. It's incredibly strong. It lasts so long. It does so much damage to attacking foes as well. It's just a great spell to take. Really, really good. I love it. Not much else to say about it. Just good damage. Savannah's Heat deals 5 to 25 damage each second since cast this spell. 5 seconds. So basically, the first time, the first second is 5, and then after that it will. Okay, let's say it's 20. First time is 20, then after that it will be 40, then it'll be 80, and it just keeps on adding. Actually, no, it's not that. It's 20, and then it'll be 40, and then it'll be 60, and then it'll be 80. Like that. It just keeps on adding 20, 20, 20. So the last packet on the 5 seconds will be 100 damage. This is a lot of damage. If you keep someone stuck in this, they can, you know, and it does like what, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Then you're looking at damage around like, you know, 300 damage or something like that on someone. And it's only 5 energy, and 25-second cooldown is quite a bit for someone that only lasts 10 seconds rather than 5 seconds rather than 10 seconds, like the one we just talked about before. But it's a really good spell. To be honest, it does more damage in a short amount of time. So in hard mode, it can be seen as better Sandstorm because people will probably move out of it by then. But you know, this is much faster. It's harder for them to move out of. So these are interchangeable in A. I would say these two are definitely, you know, top tier in A. They might even be S actually. Definitely in PvE. Searing Flames. Hits foes near your target, deals 10 to 105 damage to foes already burning. Inflicts burning for 1 to 7. This just applies itself. This just works by itself. It combos itself. 15 energy, 1 cast time, 2 recharge. This is so spammable. It can be just, you know, you just need this and there's one other spell or something like that, and it's so strong. It's a lot of energy, yeah, but using this is crazy. The amount of damage you can do every 2 seconds, just 100 damage, 100 damage, 100 damage, and then burning. Like in between those 100 damage, I think this is an S-class tier spell. Honestly, I think it's like one of the best spells you can get for Ellie. It just does so much for you. Just does so much for you. And it also combines with other spells like Paragon or They're on Fire and stuff like that, helping out doing damage and helping out that. It just combos really well with other classes too. Alright, this spell is not one I've used. I think it's no attribute. Yeah, Second Wind. You gain 1 energy and 5 health for each point of overcast. You lose all enchantments. Now, if this removed your overcast when you use it, I think that would be cool. But what's the point recovering a lot of energy when you already have overcast? Because if you already maxed energy, like normally when you have overcast, you don't have much energy because the overcast reduces your max energy. So if you get energy back, like it doesn't mean anything. You probably already have the energy. It's just that the overcast is stopping you from getting more energy. Yeah, but honestly, I think this is terrible. I think this is an F skill. I think this is garbage. If this removed your overcast, or removed maybe some overcast, and it didn't give you overcast, because you already have overcast, that's the whole point. You have overcast, and you know you get benefit from it, and then you lose all enchantments. Like, get out of here, man. This is F. This is a garbage spell. Absolute garbage. If it removed your overcast and didn't give you overcast, and maybe it was a longer cooldown rather than 5 seconds, maybe it was like what, 10 or something, I would put this in like B. But right now, no, it's horrible. It's actually horrible. Shatterstone, one of the only AoE water spells. Hits hex spell, 3 seconds. Initial effect, you do 25 to 100 cold damage. End effect, another 25 to 100 on nearby foes. So the first is not on AoE, the second is AoE. So on one person you get 200, on the rest you only hit 100, which is quite a bit of damage. 10 energy, 2 activation, 8 recharge. Now honestly, I think this should have a 1 second cast time, or at least maybe 5 energy and 2 second cast time. I don't think this is strong enough for that. Right now I'd put in like a high B, high C, low B maybe. It's okay. I mean, it's an AoE option, but I don't think it's good enough for the 2 second or the 10 second. The fact that it's also on a delay as well, for the end effect of this. But it's you know, it's AoE. Like, how can you complain? It's AoE. Ooh, Shockwave, very strong spell. Foes in area take 15 to 60 earth damage and are weakened for 1 to 10 seconds. Nearby foes take plus 15 to 60 earth damage and have cracked armor for 1 to 10 seconds. Adjacent foes take 15 to 60 earth damage and are blind for 1 to 10 seconds. 10 energy, 1 second activation, 15 second cooldown. This skill is definitely an A-class skill. It is so strong. You do 3 different conditions: cracked armor, weakness, blind. You're weakening everyone. People in melee range basically don't do damage for that period of time. You can almost constantly keep people blinded and cracked armor and weakened and cracked armored. On top of that, you're doing what, 60, 60, 60. You're doing 180 damage. It's a lot of damage at 15. It's pretty incredible. It's just a lot. It's a lot. 15 second cooldown isn't too long. It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. It's a really, really good skill. PvP, not much application, but I mean, unless you're doing like a Jade Quarry or something like that, I guess you could just run in and bomb people down. But you know, typically it's not something you're going to use there. But in PvE, it's god tier. Maybe I should focus my tier list on PvE instead, actually, rather than trying to do both. Starburst, never use this. It's an elite touch spell. Deals 7 to 112 fire damage. Inflicts burn 1 to 4 seconds. Gain 2 energy for each foes struck. Also hits foes in area. Hit foes in area is actually big. Okay, 5 second, 5 energy cost to use, 3 quarters cast time, 7 cooldown. Now it does hit foes in area, 100 and something damage. You do burn and you get energy, so it's self-efficient. You can keep on using it. It's actually a pretty good skill. I'll put this in high B. I think, yeah, it's pretty good. It's good. You get energy. You can, and if you hit more than one foe, you get a lot of energy, and it foes in area. So yeah, it's actually really good. Actually, no, if it wasn't AOE, it would be A. No, if it wasn't touch, it would be A, because it's touch. I think it's B. But it's self-efficient. It can pretty much fund your own energy. But cool, yeah, it can fund your own energy. So maybe it's low A. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good spell. This one probably is definitely going to be situational. Definitely going to be situational. Stone Sheath. Stealth. Stealth? Why can't I say this word properly? Okay, it's an enchantment. 5 to 20 seconds. Gives you and target ally 1 to 30 armor. And immune to crits. In its effect, foes near you and target ally are dealt 15 to 70 earth damage and are weakened for 5 to 20 seconds. Okay. 10 energy, 1 cast time, 15 recharge. Very situational. Actually, you can use this in most situations. Actually, it's just a good way to, you know, keep people alive. I think it's a B spell. It's not something that you'd want to use a lot. Maybe like mid B, but I mean, you do damage. You give armor, immune to crit, and crits aren't something you really think about in Guild Wars much. Definitely in PvE, because there's a random factor. You can't really control it, but this removes that random factor anyway. You know, higher level monsters are more likely to crit. And you know, they're weakened, so weakens reduces damage, physical damage by 66%, and also reduces attributes by 1. So yeah, it's a good skill. Yeah, I like it. I do like it. Maybe it's low B actually. There are definitely other spells better than it, but it's okay. Okay, this spell is a bit tragic because they nerfed this spell. This spell used to be so broken. It used to give days. Now it doesn't give days anymore. And it's pretty weak, to be honest. I don't really like it too much anymore. Which is a shame. Well, and apparently, so Shockwave actually, one thing that apparently Shockwave does, it actually applies the cracked armor before it hits. So you do more damage. But this one applies it after it hits. So, yeah. There was 10 to 50 lightning damage. Also hits adjacent foes. That's cool. Inflicts cracked armor and weakness. Forces interrupt, which yeah, that interrupt is nice. 25% armor penetration. Now the interrupt is nice, but the cast time is 1 second. 10 energy, 8 second recharge. Since the cast time is 1 second, like you're not going to be using this on like to actually interrupt. It's going to be like more like an oops. I just happened to interrupt because, you know, I just used it. But if you do interrupt, that's cool. It's cool. I actually don't think it's that good anymore. I'll probably put this in like mid C, just below this one. Arbstone, the damage is not much. Yeah, the damage isn't much really. Before it used to use days, like damn, the days was crazy. It was actually busted when this used the days AoE. But yeah, I think what they should have done for this one, it should be 5 energy rather than 10. The activation time should be, I mean, it's Thunderclap, right? It's Thunder skill. Like Thunder's coming from the sky. It should be like almost instant. It should be an instant spell, or it should be like in PvE at least, or it should be a quarter or a half time rather than whatever this is. And that way, it could have been cool. You could have made an alien have an interrupting type of build where they would spam this and maybe run Echo and then run it back to back, you know, as interrupt AoE. That'd be really cool. And then that would be like an A spell, maybe even S. But right now, let's see. Couple more spells here. Unsteady Ground. There was 10 to 40 earth damage each second for 5 seconds, and causes knockdown to attacking foes. Hit foes adjacent to target location. 10 energy, 2 cast time, 15 recharge. Now, this is actually a really good spell. Definitely because it's really fast. You can do it quite often. It's one of the other ones I'm putting in A. It's pretty strong. 40 damage, 40 times 5. It's about 200 damage, and you can use it very often, more often than Sandstorm, so maybe it has more applications than Sandstorm. It's kind of hard to say. These three are all interchangeable, like it doesn't matter to me where they go. They're all pretty much the same level, but knocking someone down when they're attacking is beautiful. Also, one of the things you can run this with is with that Ritualist Spirit that helps knock people down for 3 seconds, so you can just, yeah, more knockdown. Why not? It's fantastic. Really good spell. Last two here. Ward against harm. I actually like this spell a lot. It's a ward spell. It's the only elite ward spell. Allies in this ward have +1 to 3 health. At 19 is +4. 12 to 24 armor and 12 to 24 additional armor against elemental damage. Spirits are unaffected. This spell is disabled for 20 seconds. Now the reason it says it's disabled for 20 seconds, so you can't use 2 of these to like cover a larger range. You can only have 1 of these at a time. So 15 energy, 1 cast time, and 20 cooldown. Oh, apparently it's a bug where this spell does not actually become disabled, as it can be instantly recharged by Glyph of Renewal. Oh, that's very interesting. And reduce the charge by Glyph of Swiftness. So it's actually pretty busted. Yeah. So the cool thing about this, yeah, I mean it's high energy, but it just helps give the team a lot of defense against physical and more against elemental. And the regen is nice. I mean, +4 regen and everyone in the world. That helps a lot, right? So it's definitely situational, but it's not. It's also good in many situations. I'm not going to put in situation. I'm going to put this in like a B. I think it sits about around here. It's a really strong spell. I like it a lot. Maybe a top of B. It's not something you take a lot, but I mean, when you do take it, you take it for good reason, because you just want that extra defense from your team. Definitely, if you want a lot of backline, it's just going to help them to survive. Last and not least, Water Trident. A fast projectile. Interesting that it says fast projectile. Deals 10 to 90 cold damage and knocks down moving foes. Shoots 2 additional projectiles at adjacent foes. It's 5 energy, 1 cast time, 3 second cooldown. So it's a good way to, I guess, hit 3 people and knock them down, but it has to be adjacent, right? So they need to be right next to each other. So this is very similar to Invoke Lightning up here, but I guess she doesn't have the armor pen, which is fine. And I think it's actually a bit harder to hit because Invoke Lightning is near foe. This one's adjacent. Obviously, this is a knockdown. They both do the same damage, but you know, Invoke Lightning has armor pen, while this one has the knockdown. Maybe that's why if it has the knockdown, because it hits only adjacent, not near. And adjacent is much better. I mean, near is much better. Although this has no overcast, it has less energy, and the cooldown is only 3 seconds, so it's half of that. Honestly, I don't think this is the best of spells, and I wouldn't really take this much. I'm going to put in C, somewhere around here. It's an okay spell, but because of it being adjacent and it only hitting 3, it's kind of hard to kind of see, and they have to be moving as well. If they're not moving, this doesn't do, you don't get any of the knockdown, so that actually moves it down a bit to like maybe like glossy. If it also knocks them down, then cool, but they have to be moving as well. That's a lot of, you know, ifs. They have to be adjacent, they have to be moving, otherwise it's just damage, or it just might hit 1 person. It's a low cooldown, yeah, but PvP, this could definitely be more useful. You know, it's quite constant knockdown, every few seconds, knockdown, knockdown, knockdown. Is there a PvP person at this skill? There is not a PvP person. So in PvP, I would say, yeah, maybe this is like a B, maybe an A. In PvP, no, it's like a C. Now looking at this list, we have a lot less in S than we did for you know, for Monk. Now honestly, I could see myself moving up these 3 to S. I think these 3 might deserve to be an S. I think they're quite strong. All of these are spells that you would, you know, definitely want when you're playing PvE in Guild Wars 1. I could even move this one up to A, because I think this could be strong. And I think that would be fine. I think everything else is kind of fine where it is. Yeah, I would be happy with this. I would honestly be happy with this. I'm actually very interested in trying out more of this one here. I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? Fire. Mind Burn, using more Mind Burn, using more Starburst. I'm actually very interested in using these two spells, because I think it could be very interesting to see what they're about. I think this actually is better than that by a bit. No, interchangeable. I'm very interested in that because I think it'd be very useful. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Think I'm wrong, then let me know. I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.